Okay, so today I want to review two options I've been using for chest compression, or as it's commonly known, binding. One of which is a specifically made for trans people solution. One of which is not, and is just some random thing I found in a drugstore. A Boots. It was a Boots. I don't know what you call that. Um, So I've taken pictures across my timeline of trying these things to try and give a visual of how they look under a shirt, if they, do the job or not, to hopefully give a good idea of just what the options are for this sort of thing. Because I still think it's a fairly less talked about option compared to a traditional binder or something like that. I also don't have a script, didn't think to write one. And if you're wondering why I'm dressed like this, I don't want to put my face anywhere. So, this is the most easy to talk in mask that I own. The other ones I own are fursuits, and you would not hear me the slightest bit if I was wearing them. To get started, I want to talk a little bit about what the process we're doing here is, what the goal is, just in case you are super new to any of this information. What we are looking at is tape binding, which sounds very scary. Sounds very, dark times of taking definitely not body safe tape and just wrapping it around ourselves. That's not what this is. To clarify, not at all. This is a completely safe, approved way of just flattening and masculinizing the chest. A lot of the pros of this compared to a traditional binder are no pressure on the ribs. You can breathe easier. It's also lighter, so if you go through an incredibly hot summer like I just did, you aren't going to bake like you're wearing 4 layers of clothes. The cons? Definitely a higher learning curve to get it right. I would say I haven't personally perfected it yet. I have only been doing it a couple of weeks in its various forms, maybe a month now in the old form I had it in. It also, it's sticky. This is medical adhesive. This is bandages. It's going to stick to you if you do not like that texture, or if you do not like the idea of taking it off your body with oil and having to go slow and make time for that. You're probably not going to like this. But for me, the extra breathability, the less heat in summer, the no compression on the ribs is a big bonus for me. I really need that. I can't have the lack of the ability to breathe. Another big thing for me of why I really like this and why I really want to get good at using this is I personally have fairly limited use of my arms a lot of the time. I have a lot of trouble with my joints, my right arm, my dominant arm especially. I'm struggling with a lot of health conditions, which mean I cannot use it very much, and my range of motion is very bad. I cannot, for instance, put my arms up fully. This is me trying quite hard to put my arms straight up, but I can't. So putting a binder on, incredibly hard sometimes. I do get stuck in it. I often end up pulling my neck and my shoulder. This option does negate that because it's less up and over and pulling over the head and more just taping. So I wanted to try this for a very long time. In the UK, trans tape is a little harder to get hold of. It is an imported thing, so you do need to import it yourself or buy it from someone who is importing if you're getting it here. You're certainly not going to see it in stores. So I had been planning to try that for a very long time, and randomly while shopping for some other stuff, I think makeup for some drag looks or something, I came across the first product that I want to review. So randomly in the back of a Boots, while I was looking at cheap makeup brushes, I think, I stumbled across this. It is not a binding tape. First and foremost, this is not for binding. This is not made for trans people in mind. This is just marketed to cis women as a breast lift tape. So, if you've seen an outfit with a really deep open front on a cis woman, and you know, it's kind of clear you would have to wear a bra or something under that to be able to be supported and not fall out of it, but there is no bra strap there. There's no visible like piece. A lot of the time people are using tape to hold themselves in specific positions to give themselves the support of a bra and the lift of a bra if they want a more lifted, held silhouette. They're using a form of tape. Like, it's not anything new. I think people have been doing this for, oh my god, I don't know. I didn't do any research. I'm going to be so honest. We're just off the cuff today. But this is what I first tried and I've been using. Whoops. It's falling on me. The packaging is very unsubtle, first thing I will say in this review. You know, there is nothing inherently sexual about boobies, but having a little pink box that has a picture of two of them and the word booby tape kind of feels a bit like I should put that somewhere where that is facing, not outwards in my room. So the product itself, looking not at the packaging, is this. I don't have that much left, but I will show you. It is fairly, it's not very wide. It's, you know, it's only like 2 inches wide. And it is just this, you know, there's no measurement marks on the back. It's just tape. It's like physiotherapy tape. It's a stretchy bandage. You know, it's got this bandagey rough texture on the front. And the box shows you a couple of pictures of ways you could use it. That one is the closest to what I do. So what I was doing with this was cutting strips about that long and following along with actually trans tapes online, video tutorials, and just modifying them for what I was doing. I would do a sort of, I will demonstrate. I would go across like that and pull, and then I would do pieces up and over as well. So never crossing around the back, never crossing across the front, always stopping at the sternum and under the armpit, so that I was never creating any pressure on my ribs. But I would try to anchor and pull the tissue to the side and then up a bit and flatten that. And I will put a picture here. Well, first of all, let's put up the picture of the before. These are all going to be fully clothed. I'm not showing you the actual tape. One, I don't think you could put that online. I don't know. And two, I do not want to show that much of myself, to be quite frank. As much as I want to be helpful, we're not there yet. You don't know me. But I will show you in this, which is my finished tank top. It's a little Kings Island tank top I've had for a couple years. I think it's a good show of how fabric clings to the body and how things will look. Because obviously, with the thicker clothes, you can hide more of yourself. With thinner, more shapes are going to show. So I'll show you the before any tape, just like nothing, just to give you an idea of what we're starting from. And now, I hope I gave enough time for that to be up. I haven't edited videos really before. Anyway, I'll now show you this brand, the results I managed to get using my method with this. As you can see, it's not flat. Right off the bat, we're not getting flat. We're not getting flat. That's okay. What we're getting is what I wanted and expected to get, because I did not expect to be able to get flat, is just a large reduction in size and heft. It also holds very still to the body. There isn't any movement. It feels secure, like you're wearing like a sports bra. It's comfortable. It is comfortable. So while wearing this, it's comfortable. I don't really feel any pressure. I don't really feel any compression that hurts in any way. It does, because it is smaller pieces of tape, it does start to pull in areas. There are areas where I can start to feel the skin isn't kind of being pulled a little bit, kind of having some uneven pressure on it. It doesn't hurt, but there can be some, you suddenly move and your skin pulls against it, you can get this little, like, a bit like when you're pulling a band-aid off. As with all tape, I remove this using oil. Doesn't come with any oil. Oh, other big thing, this does not come with any pasties, it doesn't come with any cover for the delicate areas the tape should not go on. You have to make your own by just folding and making them out of this to make sure that that is touching and not the adhesive. That's semi-normal, I think, with this type of product. But yeah, removal, you just use any oil. They sell their own brand oil. Do not buy that. You don't need to waste that much money. Any oil will work for this. Obviously, things like jojoba oil are better for the skin, but I have used olive oil and it worked completely fine. You just need to drench it. You do need to drench it. You weigh this for the 6-8 hours maximum that you can. Then you drench that in oil all the way through so that it is saturated and gently peel it off your body and it will not hurt. If you do not do that, it's not so good. I had one application where I did not use enough oil, and I did experience, although not anything extreme, there were some rash-like markings. There were a couple spots. It's just like irritation on the skin or a little bit of damage. The worst is just like a bit like scraping your knee. It's not terrible, but on a sensitive part of the body, it's not pleasant. So this stuff, I don't remember how much it cost. If I can find out online in editing, I will put that up here. I have gone through a lot of it. This was a fairly thick roll, and it is no longer very thick. I would say I have maybe 2 applications left of this. Because it's not wide, you go through a lot of it each application. That is a big downside. The other is it's not built to do this. It's built for lift, it's built for support, it's not built to do what I'm doing with it. So the results are not perfect. But if you can't access stuff made for you, and you need to just grab something from the like a Boots or drugstore or something, it's an option as long as you're using it safely and, just try to follow instructions from other brands that are made for that so that you're at least in the right ballpark of, like, not going around the chest and the ribs and pushing on them, because you don't need to be doing that. And if you're going to be putting that much pressure on yourself, just get a binder at that point. It's kind of undoing all the pros that tape has. So, it's mid, it works for what I needed. It's not made for it, but it gives some reduction and makes me feel more comfortable in my chest. Second brand is Trans Tape. This is specifically made for trans people. It is not just for binding, it's for a lot of different things. You can use it for tucking, you can use it for attaching prosthetics, packers, and stuff. They have a lot of instructions on how to use it. This I had to get online. I specifically went to Trans Shop UK, who imports stuff from other places that aren't like readily made here, so that you don't have to pay import fees and wait months. You just have to wait until it comes into stock on their storefront. I don't remember how long I waited for it to come back in stock. I missed when they had their restock and they didn't have my exact skin tone in. That's fine. It doesn't bother me too much to have my tape be visible. But this is made for this. This is made more so with us in mind. And it is distinctly different visually. Now, this does come in a lot of different thicknesses. I got a fairly wide one. I think I got the second most wide because I figured that's what I needed for my build. I'm not a very big guy, but what I do have is solid and is hard to bind. So bigger, I figured would be better. It is similar to the other tape. You can see we've got the backing here, though instead of just having branding, does have measuring lines, which is very handy. And then on this side, you've got the, bandagey feeling stuff. It also comes with these covers, which let you cover delicate areas that the tape should not be going on, which you need. And it's, nice to have something made for that so you don't have to fashion one while doing your application process. So that's a big positive. You get a lot more of this. This is going to last me a lot longer. I used 2 that big pieces today, and that's all I used. That's all I needed. As opposed to 6 layers of the other one, or not layers, but strips going in different directions. This, I need 2 pieces of that. That's gonna last me, like, I don't know, a couple months at least. I don't do it very often because I don't go out that often. Like, if I'm only going out once, twice a week, that's gonna last ages. It's really good. My hair is poking out of my eye hole. Ugh. So, I'll put up the picture now of the result from today of me using this. Both pictures I've shown of me using one of these products are the first time I used them. So bear in mind, my skills could improve. I could get better results later on. This is just a video made very spur of the moment, very immediate reaction to stuff, just to give you, like, an idea of what your first one might look like. Yes, so I've done, like, my first use of these to try and give a more realistic expectation of what your first time might look like. I didn't want to do it once I had learned really well how to work with this, because I think a lot of the time we see results from people using any kind of, like, gender helping thing when they've been doing it for years and they're very skilled. They have that natural, like, touch to it at that point, and it can be really disheartening to be new to stuff and to not have that skill. So I'm just trying to give a realistic idea. Also, bear in mind, differences in body is going to change how this works for you. I can only really, give you a review for my body type, which is skinny, really. But anyway, so that's the trans tape visual. I'll put both the trans tape and the booby tape up. You can see the differences. So using this, I struggled more than I did the less wide tape, I will be fully honest. I used it the same way. I rounded off the edges as they recommend to do. Cut out my piece, rounded off the edges. I tore the paper backing so that I had a handle to use, and I did, across. I went across like that and pulled back. I couldn't manage to handle the tape as easy in my hands purely because it was a wider panel, and it was very hard to be looking down and moving this very fragile, thin panel. It feels more stretchy and a little thinner than the other stuff I was using. I think that's good for breathability and for ease of what you can do with it. It made it hard for me to put it down, pull, and position how I wanted. So it's looser than I would have done with the other one. When I use the other one, I really anchor that shit. It is, like, down. This, I have a little more give. It's a more natural feeling. That might be better for some people. I struggled to get it as flat as I would have wanted, and I would say it shows in the result. That will probably get easier as I figure out how to manipulate this stuff. It's kind of tricky working with a really sticky piece of something that you've never used before. It's gonna be tricky. In terms of wear, though, it was vastly more comfortable. I still have it on now. I don't feel any pulling or discomfort. I've been out doing grocery shopping, moving. It hasn't pulled, it hasn't come loose, it hasn't felt warm. I could figure I have it on, really, and that this isn't just how my body normally feels. Another con, you can see here it's pulled away from the backing and folding on itself, and that means that piece is ruined, basically, that corner. I really struggle to cut this with my scissors. I don't know why. My scissors will not cut this as well as they did the other tape. My scissors are also old and kind of bad. Maybe I just need better scissors and it'll be fine. Maybe I'll buy a pair of scissors just for this. I don't know. So, overall, I'm having more teething issues with this than the other tape. Even just, like, slightly catching the edges of it, it lifts away from the backing, and that's not good for me. That makes it hard to use. That means, like, it's gonna lose its sticky more, because if I just catch it taking out the box, it's gonna do that. But the width and the amount of it is way better, and the fabric does feel smoother and more natural and lighter. I think once I get the hang of this will be better than the other stuff. The downsides are, like, finickiness that I think I can iron out. And if it doesn't give me as flat a look as the other one, see, that pulled up the back just putting it back in the box. Like, that immediately damaged it just by trying to put it back in the box. That's not good. It, like, started pulling this up. So I'm gonna keep that not in the box, I guess. But yeah, I think I could get better results with more practice, but I'm not, like... It's not drastically better than the other solution I was using. It just takes less time, takes less tape, will take less removal, but because of that, it's going to be less tape to remove. So it feels safer and more streamlined, but I wouldn't say the results are quite there yet. That might be user error. I don't know. I haven't removed this yet, also. I will add a bit at the end of this video about the removal process for it. If it sucks, I'll let you know. But yeah, overall, I would say the process of using tape for this in general, I highly recommend. I do think it's more comfortable and a little safer than straight up compression. I prefer it as well from a sensory standpoint. Binders are okay, but they really press a lot, and that can be uncomfortable very fast during the day. It's really bad on my neck and my back because they just dig in here. I like this because it moves stuff away in the same way that they do, and it keeps stuff tight in the same way they do, but without having that pressure on my neck or my back or like under my arms or my shoulders. It's easier to put on, drastically so. There's no over the head or anything like that. You can't get stuck in it. It's harder to procure in the sense that, like, this one I found randomly at a Boots. This one I have to be online and buying when it's in stock on the UK store. I'm sure if you're in America, it's way easier to get a hold of. It's good. I think my overall review that it's good. I would recommend I know I kind of meh-ed this one, but I would recommend getting the actual stuff just because I trust this to be safer than the other one. You use less of it. It's wider, so it's not like putting tiny fucking strips over a watermelon. I would recommend it to give it a shot. It's a better solution than just being warm and tight all the time. But it definitely has its downsides, and I think you gotta have some patience with this. You've got to be patient to learn how to use it, and not get discouraged if you do a bad job, because mine right now is super wrinkly on my body and super weird looking and not super tight. The last thing I'll say is, I can't tell you if this is going to make your chest look like passably masculine. I don't really manage that even in a binder. My body doesn't do that. I can't be fully compressed. Even if I push on my hands, I have enough like mass there that it doesn't fully compress. Your mileage is going to vary with that. What this does do for me is make me more comfortable. It reduces things to a point where I feel like, oh, I can cope with this. I feel better being seen like this. I'll also put pictures up right now of me in a heavier shirt and not this clingy fabric, so you can see that when you have a normal shirt on, this stuff looks fine. This is with the trend stick. Looks fine, looks good, looks nice. So yeah, I'll check back in with the removal process, but other than that, I think that's all I have to ramble about for now. I hope it's of any use. It probably wasn't. I didn't script this or think about how to review things properly. I just kind of went, I'll figure it out. I don't know that I know how to do that. But either way, thank you for watching. I will review other things in the future, maybe. Peace.